number 1157, ordinance 1144. An ordinance amending the City of Troy Code of Ordinances, section 210.250, article 6, regarding weapons, carrying, concealed, other unlawful use. Anytime between the first and second reading. Just so everybody knows, I personally don't care for this particular ordinance.
This ordinance, I spoke with Chief Taylor last night on the phone for about an hour. He asked me to notify everybody that he is not in favor of this. I also want to make sure that everybody knows on record that Karen and Jesse both did their jobs, and thank you for that. It was our decision to make this into an ordinance or not make it into an ordinance. And with that being said, I do not feel that we need to infringe on anybody's Second Amendment rights on weapons. I don't think that we're having an issue, and I think that we need to kill this ordinance this evening.
Any other discussion?
I'm a little curious as to why it was even brought up.
Well, I can answer that one too. I got an email from a resident asking the ordinance on open carry. I did not know the answer, so I forwarded on to Chief Taylor, Karen, I believe, and Jesse. And when I got the answer, so did everybody else. And that, I believe, is how it all came about. There was some he said, she said stuff also mixed up in there. But the fact of the matter is that it was put on by accident, that nobody here supports it. Well, I can't say nobody here. I don't know about Lisa or Jan. I did talk to Margaret. So I would say that it was just a goose and we need to take it off.
I was just kind of curious because I think the city has opened up a window of opportunity for many legal problems if they would adopt such a thing.
Well, the interesting thing about it, the ordinance that we have in front of us has already been tested all the way through the Court of Appeals and has withstood that test. That doesn't mean that we should pass it, but the research that Jesse did when he wrote this particular ordinance has already shown that an ordinance exactly like this has been tested, and the appellate court said that it was legal. So we would have grounds to make it, to stand on if we decided to go. I certainly don't advocate that we do that, but just wanted you to know that there was homework done on this before it was put up before you.
And to add into that, this, anytime that an ordinance is drafted, especially with some sort of possible constitutional implications, that's the reason why I did the research into it. We've got section 21.750 of chapter 21 of the Missouri Revised Statutes allows municipalities and other political subdivisions to in fact enact such ordinances. It doesn't mean that they should, and of course that's the purview of you all as the Board of Aldermen to make that decision. This has been tested, as the mayor has stated, through the Court of Appeals. It's been upheld. Numerous ordinances like this have in fact been passed in other municipalities. That in no way, shape, or form should have any weight whether this board would choose to move forward.
I don't even think we need to test those waters, because I don't even want to tell somebody they can or cannot have a gun in the city of Troy and where they want to put it on themselves. So I don't even think this needs to be an issue right now.
I think one way to kill it, and I want to clarify to the large crowd we have here, in order to pass or to make a motion, you have to do it by Robert's Rule of Order to the affirmative. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a motion to adopt Bill 1156 ordinance, or wait a minute, Bill 1157.
We have to have a second reading before you can make a motion to.
I know myself.
Go ahead.
Jesse, we're not done with questions.
Anybody else have any comments?
This is on the back table back there, if any of you don't have a copy of it.
Charles?
Is there an opportunity just to make a quick
Sure,
comment?
come on up. Tell us who you are and your
Charles
address.
Smith, resident of Troy. I sent the email to Gerard, and my hope was to have clarity on exactly what the law was. It looked in its present form like it could have possibly been a little bit of copy and pasting from other types of ordinances, which is not uncommon. I'm still unclear as to exactly what the ordinance says about open carry within the city limits of Troy. When is it appropriate? How is it appropriate? Are there any preconditions to open carry? I mean, there isn't statewide, but I don't know. Reading it is a little bit ambiguous, and it's hard to determine, and that's why I asked, and I still don't know, and I still would like to have that clarified before I walk out. If I can. I mean, you may have to take more time. That's all I have to
I'm
say.
going to have to throw that to Jesse.
Section, and this is within our ordinances, section 210.250. Subsection B basically handles all of what we're dealing with, whether there's an unlawful use of a weapon, and it has to do with knowingly using that. If you look, of course, concealed carry, the state has made a wide swath that is acceptable, and in no way, shape, or form does our ordinance and our section here infringe upon that right. As far as open carry, we'd look to subsection 2 of B, which basically states that if there's an exhibition in presence of one or more persons, any weapon readily capable of lethal use in an angry or threatening manner. So that's the caveat as far as if there is an
So
open
there is
display.
no precondition such as you would be required to open carry, you would be required to have a concealed carry permit.
At this stage, as the ordinance as our ordinances are at present date,
Okay. Thank you.
we have looked to section 210.250.
So basically, as long as the person holding the weapon or carrying the weapon is not angry, then there shouldn't be a problem.
And we don't want them, of course, violating any brandishing while
Unlawful.
within of
That's
course the
unlawful
whole
use of a weapon.
Yes.
Protecting yourself wouldn't fall under unlawful, though.
That would depend on the circumstances, of
Right.
course, but